and I'm getting tweets like this. What's wrong with letting people enjoy things? They hadn't won a playoff game since 1990 and made the Super Bowl. Showing support for your team isn't negative. You know, this town has become full of soft pansies. Sports for me was a lot better when you liked the Steelers and you hated the Bengals. You liked the Steelers, you hated the Browns. You liked the Steelers, you hated the Ravens. We're so freaking soft anymore. For me, it always will be a black and white, win or lose, love this team, hate that team proposition. And the more people come at me on social media, the more I actually think my take is absolutely right, because it's mine.
Well, it's yours, yeah.
I don't F the Bengals. There, I said it, and I'll own it. Screw that.
Okay.
It is a total loser mentality. If you come home from a Super Bowl and there's thousands of people and you lost, and they're there cheering for you.
But I think the analogy...
I'm not talking about the Pirates, though. I'm talking about the Bengals.
But no, you called it a loser mentality. Would we have a loser mentality if we decided to go celebrate a team that hadn't been to the playoffs in 28 years or whatever it was and made it to the championship round and lost on the final possession?
Absolutely you would.
Okay.
You'd be cheering. And here's the other thing.
I think
the
that's
Bengals
different.
were 4-point underdogs the whole playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like the Bengals were.
Right, so nobody expected them to get to that point, right?
They weren't 35-point underdogs. The Bengals were 4-point underdogs in all the games. They were 4-point underdogs in the Super Bowl, and they led the Super Bowl for the majority of the second half, and their quarterback couldn't make a throw in the second half, and their offensive lineman couldn't
make a throw.
Go be a Bengals fan then, Chris. I mean,
why are you so mad about this?
I'm not mad, but it's hilarious that you. When did sports become you have to like everybody?
You don't have to like everybody. There's lots I don't like about sports and people and teams.
It's so hilarious to me. This take, feel bad for them. Let them have their nice time and clap for them. F the Bengals fans.
Well,
you
no one
think
said
they
you
cared
had to
about
go
the
to
Steelers when they were throwing beer at Dr. Bradley?
No one said you had to go to the rally. No one said you had to be a Bengals fan.
I don't even have to. No, I don't have to go to the rally. But it's hilarious to me that the take from a lot of people is, oh, man, what's wrong with showing support? It's a loser mentality. I'll tell you this. No self-respecting Steeler fan, if they lost to Green Bay, when they lost to Green Bay in the Super Bowl, if you went and you cheered the Steelers pulling down the Parkway and into South Water Street, whatever, take your Steeler fan card away.
That's a completely different scenario, though. We were coming off of 2 Super Bowl wins in the 5 previous years, and basically feeling like that game was on the way to being in the bag before a guy put the ball on the ground, right? Like, and the standards and expectations of the Steelers franchise from their fans, and rightfully so, they should be, are higher than they are in Cincinnati for the Bengals and from their fans.
But I don't need to like them. Like,
nope,
it's become this proposition where you got to feel bad for everybody, and everybody wants to hug everybody, and you get a participation trophy. No, screw the Bengals. They lost. Their fans are losers.
Okay.
They're losers.
I don't think that falls on track with the participation mentality.
Oh, it certainly does. They participated and lost. I would be ashamed if the Steelers lost the Super Bowl.
But you keep equating it to the Steelers, but I think that's a false equivalency.
I would be ashamed if the Pirates lost in the World Series and I went to a parade for a second-place team. There.
Okay.
I'd be ashamed.
Did they have a parade in Cincy? I thought they just had a little rally at the stadium.
They had thousands of people show up in the middle of the night.
See, I wouldn't be ashamed because the Pirates have been the Pirates for the better part of the last 30 years. And if they actually had that level of success when nobody expected them to get there, and again, 4.5 point dogs, whatever they were in the
Cincinnati to be in the games.
Nobody expected them to be in the playoffs at the beginning of the year. You and I both sat here. I'll own it. We sat here and talked about how
Joe Burrow was the best quarterback in the division.
We also said nobody expected them to be there.
You just said that nobody expected them to be in the playoffs?
No.
There are a lot of people that pick Cincinnati to win the division.
Okay, I'd love to see the accounting of that because I don't remember seeing anybody pick the Bengals to win the division.
By and large, picked Joe Burrow or picked Lamar Jackson as the best quarterback in the division, even though he was hurt last year.
They were 300-1 to win the Super Bowl when the preseason was over. I mean, they were down there with the Jets and the Jaguars. Nobody expected them to go to the playoffs.
So what do you wear a Bengals shirt then, Chris?
No, why does it have to be this, like, we talk all the time. This is fantastic.
Sports
we
was
talk
a lot
all the
better
time
when this team
about
you
how
rooted
there's
for
no
this
nuance.
team and F that team. Sports was so much better when it was like that.
It can still be. You can hate the Bengals. You can hate the Bengals when the Steelers play the Bengals or when the Bengals play anybody else for that matter. Saying, hey, Bengals fans, enjoy your party because your team wasn't expected to do anything. We get it. You're celebrating because they weren't expected to do anything. Okay, by all means, go have your fun. Is not the same as putting on a Bengals jersey and singing Fear the Tiger. Like, it's not. It's not an A or B proposition.
I just can't imagine in the middle of the night, 7 o'clock, not too late. I can't imagine saying to my friends that I grew up going to Steeler playoff games with or anything in this town, I can't imagine calling them and saying, hey, what do you guys want to do? It's the day after the Super Bowl. Our team just lost. What do you guys want to do? Well, hey, the Steelers are coming home on buses. They lost the Super Bowl. You know what I think would be a great idea? I think we should go show them support and clap and cheer for them like they are a team coming home from Hershey that is a double-A basketball team that just lost. Like, that's high school stuff for me.
Again, I think it's a false equivalency to compare the Steelers organization and the Bengals organization because of the history of each, especially the history of the last 30 years or so. The Bengals have been a doormat. Any level of success they have, I don't blame their fans for wanting to enjoy it, especially an unexpected run to the Super Bowl with a young team that a lot of people only expect to get better from here on out when they actually build out the roster. Again, there's a big question about whether the Brown family will actually pay to do that or not, but that's a separate conversation. I don't look at them as that loser mentality does not compute for me. It's enjoying what your team did. And it's okay to enjoy a team even if they were one of the 31 teams that didn't win the trophy.
Oh,
it's okay to enjoy like Joe Burrow said. I forget which day it was yesterday when he said, "Listen, I watched that Kurt Warner movie, and part of this is just part of gaining perspective on the season is not necessarily beating ourselves up about the final outcome, the final result. It's about understanding the journey of what it took to get there and how we can build off of that going forward." I think that's a much healthier way to look at it.
Jesus God. If somebody on my team just after we lost the Super Bowl said, I'm really going to appreciate what just happened. If he wants to say that a couple days after the Super Bowl, that's fine. If someone said, we just lost the Super Bowl, but I really want to sit back and enjoy what just happened the last 3 months, they need punched in the face.
So
if it's
Joe Burrow should be punched in the face. He's less of a competitor than you.
If you just walked off of losing the Super Bowl and your ass went punt, 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 turnover on downs. Hold on. Turnover on downs in your last 5 drives. And your first comment is, hey, you know what? I really need to appreciate what happened over the last couple months. I question what you just gave out there on that field.
It wasn't because his first comment. What? He was asked about his perspective on the season. And I think for a guy who you're asking to be a leader going forward for probably the next decade and a half, the face of your franchise, you do need a certain level of, hey, nobody expected us to be here. There was a certain level of success that we achieved just by getting here is not the ultimate goal. We're unhappy we didn't get there, but we can't crush ourselves for the fact that we didn't get there in the end. We still got here. We got to this point.
I can appreciate that on Wednesday. I can't appreciate that in the post-game Super Bowl press conference. I can't. I can't appreciate the quarterback saying that, hey, the journey was just wonderful. Okay, what just
I love this. I love this from the text line, by the way. Chris is soft. Yeah, I'm soft. I'm soft. That's what it is. I'm soft. No, it's called understanding that it's not a simple A-B proposition. I'm not a simpleton. That's what it comes down to. I'm not soft. I have a competitive fire just like anybody else. I just understand that there's perspective on absolutely everything you compete in, even something that is your life's work.
Like, there's a lot of things that bother me, too, like this jersey exchange. Do it in a tunnel. I don't need to see it out in front of everybody. Do it on your way after you're dressed out of the game. Like, it is the last thing that I think should happen on the 50-yard line after games. It just, I don't know. It's just, that's weird. It's always been totally weird to me. Totally weird to me. These guys grab-assing after a game after they're supposed to want to have annihilated each other. Give it 10 minutes. That's so weird to me.
It would be, and again, from my perspective, it would be weird to me if they weren't able to turn it off and say, hey, we just tried to knock each other's heads in on the field, but now we appreciate the fact that in some cases we went to college together, we went to high school together, and we happen to be out here on the field competing at the highest possible level against one another.
It's just, I don't know.